Breaking news. Everyone hates Sean Holman.
It's not true. Why would you say that?
Because one of us bought an EV.
And it's not a Cybertruck.
And one of us got mad hate on the gram.
No, I got a little bit of hate with a couple of people who said, let's see, I got, you're a shill for big government. I can no longer support you. You're an idiot because you hate America.
You hate America.
One guy said that, how dare I do something like that, and I should give up my man card. Whatever. Okay. And then like 50 people were like, dude, that's rad. So yeah. So I know in the last episode we were like talking about.
Well, hold on a second though. But even my wife said, "What did Holman do that pissed off so many people?"
Why?
Well, it's
that
because you posted something. Hold on. It's because of the post you put afterwards. You know, you said like so much hate for my new EV that I think you kind of like you hyped it a little bit.
It was funny.
But you did get some hate, some legit hate.
I just told you I got some hate.
I know, but
you're making it like it's bigger than it. I literally, I have it's got 185 impressions or whatever you want to say, interactions, I guess is what it is, and then just a bunch of comments. I just basically said it's funny how much hate I've gotten since I've got an EV.
Right.
I said, and I went on to say, I guess it doesn't matter that I'm an automotive journalist and my job is to explore and experience all technologies to form and share an educated opinion. And I went on with the stance I've had on the show. In no way am I an EV apologist. I don't think they should be mandated. Choice is good, and EVs aren't right for everybody. Stand by all that.
And they shouldn't be right for you either.
And I think EVs are part of the future tapestry of transportation. So that's the same way gasoline, diesel, natural gas, hydrogen, all those things are.
What is this tapestry pink? I mean, what's going on with you? You have lost your man card.
I think for the vast majority of people, hybrid makes the most sense. And so,
but dude, you didn't buy a Rivian. You didn't buy.
Who can afford one of those?
But you bought something that was.
I bought an appliance that's turned out to be freaking incredible. I really like it. So here's the deal.
What did you buy?
So we talked about in the last show, and I talked about there's these great lease deals on the Toyota BZ4Xs, and I was like, I'm going to try and find one of those because it's like $200 a month. And so they got all sold out, and I don't know why I didn't even think about it. I didn't think about the Nissan Ariya, and I think because the prices were so expensive. But for 2024, they dropped them like $6,000 at different trim levels. So the base price was like $40,000 now. It's like $39,995 or something like that.
And what did that do to the lease?
So I had a really good lease. I'll tell you, my payment is well under $250 a month, and not much more than $200 a month. And I put $1,400 down. Nissan was doing this really great deal, 10,000 miles a year, 18 months. And I'm like, great, this is perfect because then I'm not married to this thing. If I don't like it, I'll walk away from it in a year and a half, no big deal. They included free charging for a year at EVgo, which I have one just a mile from my house. So that I've been going there. I go grab lunch in the shopping center. I'm topped off. I can top off at home, use the same plug we use on the 4xe.
Yeah, but when you top off at home, it costs you.
Yeah, but it does cost me. And I've got a V8. I've got a 4-cylinder Honda CR-V. I've got my wife's a plug-in hybrid Grand Cherokee, and now I've got a Nissan Ariya EV. And so
you do have the all the colors of the rainbow in your driveway.
Listen, if I'm going to talk about this stuff, I should do it from a point of experience and authority. So I went to the local Nissan dealership. Funny, it turns out our friend Justin Gore, who used to be a salesman, put me in touch with a friend of his who now runs Nissan. He's the GM at Nissan in Downey. And they put together an incredible deal for me. I reached out to our friends over at Nissan. I said, hey, guys, you know me. I'm thinking about buying an Ariya. Do you have a friends and family? And they said, yeah, no problem. Here you go. Take that to the dealer. So they gave me a good deal. Dealer was a fantastic experience, phenomenal. So Downey Nissan, shout out to them for making it happen. And if you're in SoCal and you're looking for a deal on Nissan, go see Nick over at Downey. So here's the thing. This is a lease deal car. They're not making any money off this. And it was hard to find because a lot of people were going, oh, Nissan has this lease deal. He dealer traded to get me the car I wanted.
That's cool.
And had a bow on it when I got there. Just freaking rad.
Really?
So my wife and I went there. She
Why do they put a bow on it for you? Just to screw with you?
No, it's awesome. I was listen. I don't buy cars that often.
Did they think you're giving it to your
awesome.
wife? You don't put a bow on a
Hell yeah! I got a picture
car,
of me
really?
with yeah, absolutely. If I'm going for the experience. I'm going for the experience. In fact, Nissan has a thing called second delivery. So once you take delivery of the Aria, they will send somebody to your house 2 weeks later to walk you through any other questions you have, which is pretty awesome. So a friend of ours who works at Nissan Corporate saw my Instagram and called me up and he said, "Hey, I heard you got an Aria." And I was like, "Yeah." And he goes, "I used to be on Titan and Frontier. I run the after customer service, the second delivery." He goes, "I know, a car guy like you probably doesn't need it, but why don't you take advantage of it so you can see what we do for our customers?" And I was like, "Yeah, I would love for that to happen." So I've got a second delivery set up for it. Here's the thing about the Aria. Nissan designed it, and there's like a gazillion trim levels. I got the base, so base power, base range, base battery. It looks identical to everything except the very top trim. There's no black plastic on it. It's all painted gloss black. I got Boulder Pearl Metallic, which is that cement color you like, but it's got pearl to it, so it's really cool.
Yeah.
Hooked up our buddy Brian Rodriguez over at SoCal Tint, tinted the windows.
I noticed
on the
that.
tint.
Yep,
So
saw it as I came in this afternoon.
Yep. Shout out to Brian for taking care of me on that. And so the thing is...
Did you use the Expel IR?
No, it's a lease car. I was going to spend that on it.
Okay.
He offered it to me, and he offered me a great deal, and I said, it's going back in 18 months, so
Gotcha.
I don't, this is my appliance.
I'm
not going to get crazy.
You put the cheap carbon stuff on there that turns purple in a couple of years.
It'll be turn purple way after me. I
Right.
don't care.
Got it.
So anyway, the more expensive the car gets doesn't change the look of the car. It has 19s on it. It freaking has alloys with these cool aero covers that fit between the spokes, super lightweight wheels. Obviously, the batteries are low on the chassis, so it handles really, really well. But as you get more expensive, they add more horsepower, add a bigger motor, a second motor, a bigger battery pack. So most of the cost is wrapped up into those things, not in the experience of the car. So I have the dual big screens on there. I've got wireless CarPlay on
How's
there.
the stereo?
It's great.
Is it Fender?
No, I don't remember what the premium was, but the premium only adds a subwoofer. And it's fine for what it is. I was really impressed. I thought it was going to be like, it's tinny, it's the base model. Actually, was really impressed with how it sounds. So the only things that I don't have is I have fake leather seats with the suede inserts instead of real leather, which comes on the higher models. I don't have a power liftgate. Don't care. I don't have a panoramic sunroof. Don't care.
Does it have a sunroof? I didn't notice.
No.
Okay.
I don't have a wireless charging pad. Don't care. All the things that I care about are the car has. I have adaptive cruise control. I've got power driver's seat with memory. I've got CarPlay, Android Auto,
and
wireless.
no gas.
And no gas. And so I've been getting about, this thing's rated, I think, around 216 miles. I've been getting about 225 for range around the city. It's got 200 and, I can't remember off the top of my head,
so what
15
you're saying,
horsepower,
let me
and
distill
221 torque.
Let me distill this.
Yep.
So this Nissan Aria was worth the scolding that you got on Instagram.
Oh, I don't care what anybody on Instagram says. The reality is that my insurance and the cost of the lease is less than a month's of gas that I would spend on the 392. It keeps the miles off the 392, keeps the maintenance off the 392, and I can use the 392 for all the things I am doing, and we'll tell you my latest deal with that thing. But it's basically this appliance that allows me to save miles. My wife saw a bumper sticker that says, "I'm saving gas for more guns." And I said, "You buy me that for the Aria." It's a great looking car. The tech is great. All LED light signature, all that kind of stuff. Again, the big screens.
How much is Nissan paying you for this plug?
They're not. So this is what I'm trying to get to. So I thought for sure, I'm like, I'm going to take a flyer on this car. It's a base model, whatever. I'm going to live with it for 18 months, and we'll see what the landscape looks like a year and a half from now. Dude, I got to tell you, I love this car. Blown away. This is one of the most comfortable cars I've ever been in, unlike the Toyota that has this high center console.
Does it have zero gravity seats?
It does have zero gravity seats. 0 to 60, 7 seconds, which is totally fine. The dual motor with the almost 400 horse is 4.9 seconds or 5 seconds or something like that.
Yeah.
But I don't need all that. This is just me taking the kids around, and I can go to San Diego and back on a charge. I can see clients from Riverside and back on a charge, go up to Banks, I can go up to anywhere in LA. No problem. I can do all those things. I don't have to worry about the gas. And again, handles great, rides great, super comfortable, obviously quiet. I can't say enough good things about it. I thought for sure I was just going to be cool. I'm going to live with it. And I actually enjoy driving it.
What you need to do is pick up each of the haters and give them a ride and buy them like a Wiener Schnitzel dog.
Perfect.
You know, a chili dog.
Yeah.
I'm going to buy you lunch.
Holman at truckshowpodcast.com for your ride in the R8.
I want them to get just pour all the hate on you, so when I go buy some EV from Nissan, they won't care.
Now you're talking about buying one? I haven't even given you a ride in it yet.
I was looking forward to like bagging on it, and then I saw it. I'm like, actually looks cool.
Dude, it does look cool, and it's great. And I, like I said, I thought I was going to just take a flyer and be like, I'll live with it. I love it. So if you're looking for a third car, definitely check one of these things out. It's the Nissan Ariya. It doesn't change who I am or whatever. I was doing up to like 5 to 6 under 5 mile trips a day. That's just stupid to do in the Wrangler. It doesn't make sense.
It's too many cold starts.
It's too many cold starts. Yeah. It's not even warm by the time I drop my little one off. So like, why?
That's not a euphemism. That's his daughter.
Thanks for that, Lightning, because her school's in the same track that we live in. Anyway. And basically it just saves that. And so I just got back. It's funny. I got the Ariya, right? I had it for like 2 days. Then I went on a week-long trip. And I went on a trip with Jeep Jamboree USA because I'm going to be guiding a trip in 2025. So I'll let you guys know when everything's done and official and dates and stuff. So in case you guys want to go on, it's going to be very limited. But it's
another trip that Lightning can't go on because he doesn't have a Jeep.
You can go on it. You can pay your money and come along. Oh, you know what? No, I'll put you in mind. If you want to come, you can be in the passenger seat, but you don't get to touch the radio.
Are you serious?
Sure. So I'll
listen to ska and country music.
Listen, I'll let you guys know when it's more firmed up. But in 2025, in spring and fall, I'm going to be leading 2 trips. This was our pre-run for the first one. So I took Sean Goling from Jeep Jamboree out on a pre-run or scouting trip. We covered almost 400 miles in 3.5 days of off-road.
Is that the guy on the video it's on your social that was helping you dig a
hill?
A hill so you could go up it at an angle and almost flip your Jeep?
So it's funny. I recently took the Jeep down to Bill Stein, had the shocks revalved kind of for my liking, and then I recently put the high-capacity coils on it because I found out I just didn't have enough spring support. And off-road with my dad, myself, and all of our stuff, I'm like, man, it just sags too much, and I just have too much weight on here. I didn't realize how much weight I had, so I put all that on. I loaded up for overlanding. I had the new Rhino rack on it with the Lightner boxes and all the water, my fuel caddy. So anyway, I decided to weigh it. I'll let you guess or think about what it is. We'll tell you later. But high capacity springs, the Bill Steins handled amazing out there. And dude, 300 and was like 70, 80 miles in 3.5 days across the desert, all off-road. This is no pavement. Dude, that's hard on vehicles. I didn't have one failure. I didn't have one flat. The only issue I had is I had a connector for my fridge in the back soldered itself to a post. So I had to change my cables and I got to rewire that. Other than that, the vehicle was flawless. Taser was flawless. Oh, dude.
Well, we have taser news.
Yeah, we have taser news, but we'll save that for our Have You Heard. There's some other stuff coming.
So the shorter episode this week
following
is
this, we'll have more info on that. So anyway, long story short, I had a crazy week. I traveled, I bombed the desert, I bought an EV, and I freaking love it.
You know where the TRX went?
Nowhere. You got glass in the back.
Freaking nowhere. Yeah, I told you that I got glass. It's been sitting at Banks inside because I can't leave it outside anywhere until I'm so paranoid now. Which sucks for owning a truck like this.
So what's it doing?
I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you a picture right now. You can describe what this is right here.
Why are you paranoid?
This is a picture of...
You have every security device known to man on that thing.
I do, but I don't have anything that will protect the back glass yet. So what do you think of this? This is a picture of Matt Gamble's screen right here, one of our engineers. Uh-huh. So that's a headache rack. It's kind of a mini headache rack right there.
You brought it up. That's only the side view.
It's coming along. Yeah, the side view. Let me flip it. There's the back view. Now, what do you think of this? Like, we're following the glass line and not going all the way up to the top of the roof.
I think it looks weird.
What if I put lights on top of the rack to bring it up to the roof line?
I would bring the rack up to the roof line. I would cut around the third brake light so it kind of recesses down in it, and I put the lights under it so they're in line with the third brake light. So you basically have like a U shape.
I don't want to go above the roof line though.
No. Even with the roof line, it drops down for the third brake light and goes back up. Then you put a couple of amber chase lights behind it.
Yeah, I'm thinking about doing that too because right now it
looks weird.
It does look weird. It looks like. I put the wrong truck's headache rack on there.
Yeah.
Like, hey, look, I put a Tacoma rack on a TRX.
I still think it's hilarious that I suggested you do that, and you're like, no, that's dumb. And now it's so not dumb.
Some ideas
you're having somebody create one for you.
Some ideas just need to, they need
marinate?
To marinate, ferment.
Ferment. I mean, okay, we'll see.
Dude, it's like way over 15 minutes. We haven't even started the show yet.
So listen, if you are in the market for a new truck or an EV, as it turns out, head over to nissanusa.com and check out the new Frontier. By the way, another thing is I had the Nissan Hardbody. We haven't even done anything with that. I did a quick review of it, so we'll play it after this.
I know. We were supposed to go to Wiener Schnitzel and record an episode.
It didn't happen. Do you want me to take you to Wiener Schnitzel in the Aria?
Yes.
Okay. So Frontier starts at $30,030, nicely equipped, rock solid reliability. You don't have to worry about hybrid or turbo or any of that kind of stuff. It's just a great 3.8-liter V6 backed by a 9-speed automatic, 310 horsepower, 280 pound-feet of torque. Fully boxed frame. You guys are going to love it. So check it out at your local Nissan dealer or build and price at nissanusa.com.
Holman, I think you have a friend or relative that owns a 5th-gen Ram with a Cummins turbo diesel, correct?
That would be my Uncle Warren.
Have you opened the fuel door and seen the little flimsy plastic cap that's supposed to, air quotes, supposed to keep like grime and debris out of the filler neck? Have you seen that?
It's the same cap on, I think, everything that Chrysler makes.
It's ridiculous. It's insane. You just spent like close to $100,000 on a car, and they give you this thing that just literally could blow off in the wind.
Are you talking about the DEF cap?
Or
the actual fuel filler?
No, the fuel filler.
Yeah.
It has just like a flimsy 1-cent piece of plastic that covers the top, and everyone loses it. So Banks to the rescue with the revolver, billet, diesel, and DEF caps. Beautiful, machined, anodized fuel and DEF caps. Let me turn my screen sideways so you can see.
And it says DEF and diesel on there, so there is no way that you're going to confuse them.
And they have neodymium magnets, so when you're fueling up, you just click it to your fuel door.
Nice.
And you don't lose them.
Now, let me ask, do you have a gasoline version of that as well?
The only one that we know of that has this issue is the 6.7-liter Cummins.
Got it.
19 to current. So they just, I don't know if Ram was trying to chintz out or what was going on, but like, it's just ridiculous. So
well, I just gave you an order for my uncle, so just add those to it, and I'll surprise him.
They're $100 for the set. I mean, you're like, wait, I'm going to buy a cab for $100, but I'm telling you, these are freaking jewelry and positive locking. So they don't just like push in and you hope they stay there. Isaac, one of our engineers, spent weeks designing these things. They're badass. So anyway, if you've got a 19 to current Ram with a 6.7-liter diesel and you have these laughable fuel and DEF caps, swap them out for a piece of beautiful billet at bankspower.com.
You're also going to want to swap out whatever lubricants you're running in your vehicle, because AMSOIL, a pioneer in synthetic lubricants for more than 50 years, delivers wear protection, engine cleanliness, and fuel efficiency that conventional oil simply can't match. AMSOIL is the official oil and title sponsor of the Ultimate Call-Out Challenge, the official oil of the National Association of Diesel Motorsports, and you can find out all about how AMSOIL synthetic lubricants can save you money and time by helping your vehicles run better and last longer than with conventional oils at AMSOIL.com. When it comes to lubrication, AMSOIL is the leader in synthetics.
The Truck Show. We're gonna show you what we know. We're gonna answer what the truck, 'cause truck rhymes with the Truck Show. We have the lifted, we have the lowered, and everything in between. We'll talk about trucks that run on diesel and the ones that run on gasoline. The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
It's the Truck Show with your hosts, Lightning and Holman.
Holman, it's time to talk tools. And I'm not just talking about like 10-millimeter lost socket, stuff like that. These are amazing tools engineered to solve very specific automotive problems, designed right here in Southern California, Escondido to be specific.
Sounds like the tools on this show.
You and me?
Yeah, very specific, designed to, what are we designed to do? Entertain?
I'm designed to create problems. You're designed to fix them.
I don't even know if that's true. I think we are designed to just fill up. You know what we are? I got it. We're just automotive white noise.
No, that's awful.
It's like a V8 in the background just idling.
God,
that's
I
us.
don't want to think of myself as white noise.
Not even revving.
No, that's awful.
Just making noise.
No.
You know who we are?
No, listen.
We're the podcast where when you get on an airplane, you put us on, you just fall asleep.
No.
And then you don't feel like you missed anything.
What's wrong with you? Why would you don't put that in people's brains? No, absolutely no. Hell no.
Oh, okay.
You got to listen. You have to love us or you got to hate us.
Oh no, there's
you got to laugh, you got to cry, you got to be pissed off, or you got to jump for joy.
Lukewarm. Hate us or lukewarm?
What?
Have you heard our show?
Listen to me. People love you, hate me. That's perfect.
We bring very little to people's lives.
Why?
It's a T-shirt.
Why are you going down
the Truck
this
Show
road?
Podcast? We bring very little to your life. No?
No.
Why?
Absolutely.
You know
not.
what brings greatness to people's lives?
Tools.
Having the right tool for the job.
Yeah, that's true. Let's go. Oh my! I feel like this has been the worst setup ever for a guest. Are you sure this is how we want to get into Bryan Lyttle?
Yeah, we're going to make him look way better. Like we lowered us to make our guests shine.
We're like dirt level. We're like like ground level right now.
We're below that. We're whale slither. We're that scum that sort of covers the bottom of the ocean.
We're subterranean?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh my God. Seriously?
Let's elevate ourselves with some tool talk.
So you're saying the rising tide lifts all boats, and Bryan from AGA?
You know what's funny about that? The rising tide may lift all boats, but it just puts the whale slither further from the top.
Oh my God. All right, let's call Bryan Lyttle at AGM Products. Here we go. I'm going to dial. Whoop! I just clicked his email. That's not going to work.
It's Bryan.
Bryan, Lightning and Holman from the Truck Show Podcast. How you doing?
I heard you make tools.
Doing good, hey guys.
What's going on?
We've got a lot to talk to you about, but first we have an intro. Don't move.
Welcome to the parts department.
Screw, nut, filter, oil, grill, tools, wheels, tires, brakes, lights, ears, belts.
And your wife warns you not to.
Don't you spend our money!
And then you'll want to come back.
Now, Bryan, how long have you been with AGM Products down there in Escondido, California?
Yes, in beautiful Escondido.
Beautiful Escondido.
Yeah, majestic.
How long?
Since the inception. So, God, we've been doing this for 7 years full time, and then a handful of years before that, kind of as a side hustle to our race team.
So it's all German motorsports, right? That's the AGM, correct?
That is what started. Yeah, it started as all German auto. My partner had a repair shop for a number of years working on German automobiles, and we're not super creative, so it just became all German motorsports. Started racing in kind of the limited class buggies, the class 10s with the small 4-cylinder engines and unlimited suspension, and then class 1 up through trophy truck. And then when all the racing kind of slowed down, because we found out there's no money in it.
What?
Break anyone's heart there.
You know what they say? You know how you make $1 million racing? Start with $2 million.
$1 million.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So was that you and Martin?
Yeah, so Martin started it. I was just some dumb teenager that came in and I started volunteering on his race team.
Okay, gotcha.
And then kind of stuck around, and I didn't know any better, and I was kind of liking the scene, and then it became more and more involved. And at the same time, I was a mechanic over at Mercedes. I'd kind of gone as far as I could there, so I was like, well, forget having a real job and actual responsibilities. Maybe I can run your race team for you. So he started contracting that to me. That's how kind of the relationship started. And then when the racing ended, we did another business together prior to AGM. Still had it on the side. And that was a car business again, domestic stuff. And I realized, although working on car cool, I love trucks, love cars, making parts did like so much better because you could design it once, and then while you were sleeping, you could sell and make you money. So then in 2017, we had sold the other business and went all in on AGM.
So then you have another company that actually even shares the building, AGA Tools, which
yes,
it looks like, and I'm not sure how you separate the two. I guess
through a wall.
Well, maybe, but I think AGM looks more like it's more motorsports related. You've got like UTV parts, stuff like that, and then AGA looks like you have specific tools for German cars for the most part.
Yeah, you've nailed it. And the big thing on the road side, as we kind of call it, the GA side, is a lot of this mobile service and kind of the clean oil service and doing things that people have always because no one has time to go into the dealership. So that side is kind of focusing on these really cool plugs started at all that goes into the car there's a machine or a pump that we use that you can actually attach to the engine, to the oil pan, and suck all the fluid out, do an oil change in someone's driveway without spilling a drop. So the environmental thing are taken care of, and then the speed aspect is there for all the guys that are kind of getting into this mobile service business. So that's gone crazy. It started with the drain plug. Now there's complete systems that we're building for Sprinter vans to go into stuff with Goodyear and Amazon and a bunch of other companies doing these big fleet services. So that's the focus on the on-road side. And then I mentioned the off-road side, or AGM, is more the UTVs, where we're doing, jacks for out on the trail. We have an electric one that's powered by a drill battery.
Let me
just a
stop
drill
you
battery.
right there, because I know people are listening and they're going, oh, yeah, the German stuff. Lightning has them on because he has his German rocket AMG.
I knew that you'd get there.
Why are they? And then it's like, AGM side has some killer tools. Now, one of the things I wanted to point out, actually two things, is you guys have seen the racing jacks. And one of the products that you may have seen lately is the jack rod. You've maybe seen it on Instagram.
Jack rod.
The jack rod.
Yes.
And basically, it is an adjustable length arm or lockout that will turn your jack essentially into a jack stand by not letting the hydraulics be the only thing that holds up your vehicle, your UTV, whatever. That is rad. And then the other thing is...
Don't pass by that. Like, that is...
Well, hold on. We're going to get there. I said two things.
Okay.
All right. The other thing is the AGM electric jack. So, okay, y'all know what a high lift is, right? And then ARB came out and said, we can do one better. And they have their ARB, like, single-cylinder hydraulic jack. And then Go Rhino came out and said, well, we like the ARB thing, but it's too expensive, and we'll make it so you can jack up or down hydraulically in both directions, and we've done a few things differently, and then we've changed the price point. Well, AGM says, forget all of you guys.
Hold my beer.
You can take a frickin' Milwaukee battery that you already have because you're already on an M18 tool system or tool platform, and then it's essentially a single cylinder, kind of like a modern high lift, except your battery from your freaking Red Tools powers it, and it goes up or down, and it's like one of the most awesome things ever.
I know, right? Take all the work out of it. The pumping and all that's all cool, and it's so much nicer when you get out and all you got to do is flip a switch.
It's rad. And the other thing is, forgive me if I'm wrong, my understanding is the ARB jack can't be stowed on its side because of the way the hydraulic cylinder is on the inside. And the Go Rhino one, I believe, they designed it so it could be stored on its side. I'm guessing your jack doesn't care how it's stored in the truck?
Doesn't matter.
See?
Right side up, upside down, or wherever you want to put it.
Freaking A!
So I don't know how I went down this rabbit hole like 6-8 months ago when I decided that I wanted to have you guys on the show. I don't know why I just set it up now, but I've been following you for a really long time, and somehow I got Martin's name. I came across Martin Christensen. And then I went and I said, Martin Christensen patent. Boom! Like, it's just like a waterfall of patents fell out of Google. Holy mackerel, he is prolific, designing and patenting so many amazing tools, I should say.
Unique. I don't know if you got to dive into them, but they're all so different and so unique. If there's one thing he does better than anyone I know, it's creating completely novel ideas.
And I love his videos because every single video that he does starts this way. And the problem is, right? He starts with those words. And the problem is, he doesn't say, hi, I'm Martin Christensen, Holman. He looks right at the camera and goes, and the problem is, the lug nuts will not come off.
I'm sorry, I'm still looking at the jack on...
watching the videos, that's all we care about.
At AGM Products, AGM-Products.com's website. I'm looking at the jack still because I'm like, freaking A,
you
right?
want it, don't you?
No, I do. It's rad, and I always have a red battery with me because I bring my Impact with me on the trail, and I have it in a bag under the seat along with a charger, so that if somebody gets a flat, it's super easy to swap out the spare on it.
I'm a total knucklehead because I meant to get.
I do want to say that we also give love to Team Yellow. There's a DeWalt option, and there'll be Makita soon too.
Yeah, nobody cares about those guys.
Are you kidding me? I'm all DeWalt, dude. I'm all DeWalt.
I just say that to get Lightning all excuse the pun jacked up here.
Yeah,
but us red guys, man,
dude, I'm yellow. I'm straight yellow through and through. Yeah, I love me some DeWalt. I want to go back to the jack rod here because that is so novel. And there have been so many times that we've all jacked up a car with a hydraulic jack, and you thought, I'm going to, it's inconvenient to put the jack in there and then put like your jack stands, put them in the right spot and all that. And then you're like, if you just could support the hydraulic jack, everything would be groovy. And no one made anything until Mr. Martin Christensen made one and patented it. And I think you even licensed it out to another couple brands, don't you?
And yeah, we do some private label stuff. And with some of the EVs and some of the newer cars, you don't even have other points to put a jack stand. You just have the 4 positions and that's it. So it comes in handy in quite a few different applications.
How do you describe this? Because it's spring-loaded, right?
It's a lockout.
And I know but you're making it's
okay. Imagine
this.
Describe
it. That's too simple.
All right, I'm going to make it easy for you. Look at a 2-sided triangle. The bottom of the triangle, and then it's at a right angle, or it's at a let's call it a 45-degree angle, right? So you have a 45-degree angle. It's just flat and then up.
You're completing the triangle with this.
You complete the triangle. And while the part that's at the 45 can go up and down with hydraulic and the bottom is the foundation, what happens is, and just like we tell you for a gazillion years in recovery classes, don't trust your jack. And if you're out in the field, throw a spare tire under your frame rails while you've got the jack going or whatever the case is. What this does is it's lightweight, it's compact, and it locks out that 45-degree angle guy with something that's closer to a 90-degree angle so that it can't go down without being jacked up first.
Yeah, but it's like a switchblade. Yeah, it's a giant switchblade in that you squeeze it and it goes shrink and it like locks into position.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
Now, the jack rod is a very, very affordable price at $69.99 on the website. For what you get and what that thing is awesome. Going to the electric jack, it is definitely a premium product. It's not cheap. But what I'll tell you is you guys know you've made it because somebody's trying to rip you off by selling them online for like $50 or something like that. And people are falling for it.
People are getting suckered by that, which sucks.
And you guys had to literally put an Instagram post going, we don't make $50 jacks. Our freaking jack rod's not even $50. Don't fall for it, people. Stop. So that's embarrassing.
Now, we are aware. So we're that's a premium product. We are aware that a part of the market does want something like that, but that's a little much for them. So we're working on versions of it that are simplified. They're not the full race package as far as the materials and all the seals and the fancy. So in the near future, we will have other options that are a little more price competitive for some of the entry level stuff.
I don't know. Buy once, cry once. Why not get the best thing you can and then never have to worry about it again?
It's true. How do you fend this stuff off? Because as an inventor, right, you're coming up with amazing tools. How do you stop a, dare I say, Harbor Freight, even a U.S.-based company that imports everything? How do you stop someone like that from ripping you off? There's a famous case that we're going to have someone you know on the show here in a couple episodes. They make a jack that was, let's say their design was borrowed, and I can only imagine that's hurt their business. How do you fend that off? Chuck. Yeah. We're going to talk to Chuck. Yes.
When you guys find out, please let me know because they are doing business in billions with a B. So you got to imagine there's a team on staff of lawyers that are just out there doing this and allowing them to move on. I don't know how a small company like us would do that. So our approach isn't necessarily to stop them. Our approach is to try to create as much awareness as possible so that people know where the product came from originally. And then hopefully through the value that I hope we're putting out, people feel a little brand loyalty and kind of understand, okay, well, that's a knockoff. I'm not going to go that direction. We're going to stay with, the original and the one that created this.
And the one created and built in the U.S., right?
Exactly.
By All German Motorsports.
Yeah. So
not confusing at all, people. They are right here in Southern California.
I went down the rabbit hole of AGA tools a couple nights ago. And so there's AGM, again, All German Motorsports, and then AGA. What was All German? What's the other A in AGA? Auto. Okay, got it.
Auto.
And so this is like, it looks like Martin's fiefdom over here, this website, because it's all tools. It's not just jacks and racing parts and things like that. This is tools. And the wheel lock removal tool I fell in love with. So you've all used wheel locks to protect your nice wheels. You invariably lose that wheel lock, that little weird splined tool that fits in. inside the lug nut, and you have no way of getting it off.
If you're stupid enough to put those on your car, by the way.
Okay. So maybe I have. So
here's the thing. By the way, everybody, if you have an off-road vehicle, do not put those on your vehicle, because you will inevitably be in the middle of the desert. You'll blow a tire, and your friends who have all the tools are going to hate you because you can't find your frickin' spline nut or your locking nut or whatever, and they will beat you mercilessly and leave you in the desert to rot and die because they can't continue on their trip anymore because your freaking dumb a-hole self doesn't have the locking.
So I've never put those on.
So don't do it.
On off-road vehicle. They've been on street cars, but I have lost the locking mechanism or the key before, and they have a very unique way of removing the head of the part that's keyed. Right? They can knock it off elegantly, and then you can put another piece on and extract it without even damaging the wheel at all. Just there's so many interesting tools on this website that. And the fact, there's another one where how many times as mechanics, have they stripped out the drain plug, the oil drain plug? And so maybe the threads come out with it or just get stripped. They have a whole system by which you can drill and tap a new drain plug with the oil still, with oil still in it.
With the oil pan still on the car.
With oil pan still on the car. And Holman, none of the metal filings go in the pan. With air, they compress air through the top of the engine down, and it pushes all the filings out as they're drilling it. They tap it, and it's freaking. I just can't believe that everything you see on their website, you're like, how has no one thought of this before?
Let's go back to AGM. There's a bunch of really cool stuff on there. One of which is your brake bleeding system, and then you've got different caps depending on. Do you have a Willwood brake system? Do you have a Brembo brake system? What's the cap on your master cylinder so that you can compress it? Because whether it's a modern car or a modern UTV, brake bleeding is a pain in the butt these days. It's not like it used to be. With all the different ABS modules and all the stuff you have to go through, it's hard to get all the air out of those systems. And you guys
it's almost impossible doing it by hand.
You guys have an amazing pneumatic system of doing it, which is super rad. I was looking at those on the website, and the fact that you have machine billet reservoir caps with the air fitting on them for Jeep, Chrysler, Willwood, Polaris, Brembo,
everything. And that's just a standard air fitting. So if someone has a vehicle that we don't have a cap for, or we're not about to make one because we have a bunch in the works, you can go to Harbor Freight, you can go wherever. And I know we're not saying that name, but you can go there. You can get the standard air fitting. You can put it in an extra cap and make something that connects directly to the bleeder. So there's no proprietary connections or anything that's going to stop you from doing something custom if that's what works for you.
The other cool thing that you guys have that I noticed for you desert guys is your Uniball tools.
But now wait, can I pause you before you go? That's how I know AGM. Because remember when I had the rock crusher? So I had some custom upper control arms made for the truck. And I was blowing through ball joints, just like regular Moog ball joints, because there's just too much rotating
junk suspension and bad geometry. Yes, got it.
It wasn't junk suspension, but it was okay.
Bad geometry, got it.
Bad geometry, but I replaced them with some Uniballs. And you can't pull those out without removing the upper control arm, which is a pain in the ass. And someone sent me a link. This is years ago. I feel like this is like 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. Someone sent me a link to the Uniball tool that they offer. So you can pull the Uniballs out of the upper control arm without removing the upper control arm from the truck. And it's freaking awesome. Still in my tool chest today.
That's cool.
And
those are made for a number of different sizes, whether it's UTV or all the way up to a full blown trophy truck with 1.5-inch diameter Uniballs. We have something for all the sizes in between.
Lightning's never used a Uniball that girthy.
See what you did there?
What?
I've got dual girthy. How did that come about? Like, where were you stranded? Where you're like, this is ridiculous.
Exactly right.
Yep.
We actually pulled a page out of the Mercedes-Benz book. There used to be an installer tool for a random control arm bushing or a body bushing like a long time ago when I used to work there. And then we were doing the race car thing and, trying to juggle the arm and the press while you're like pushing down and you're not getting it right and you don't have 3 arms, so you can't do all the things. And we're like, why don't we just make that work for this? And that's kind of where it was born in that frustration at like 2 a.m.
What's with the Germans, by the way, that build...
Is that a Jerry Seinfeld thing?
What?
What's with the Germans?
What's with the Germans? No, seriously, Brian, what's with the Germans designing engines that require so many proprietary tools? They're known for that.
I know, over-engineering everything. So as whatever you want to think of that, it's actually been really good for us. So I don't really want to knock it too much.
Now, what do you think of that term you just brought up? So I work for Gale Banks, and that term, over-engineering, he's like, no, there can only be under-engineered. There's no such thing as over-engineered. What are your feelings about that?
So we do it a little bit differently. I mean, I can't say anything. The guy is hugely successful, and obviously he knows what he's doing, and he's made a lot of amazing products that, you know, I have on my 7.3 and we've used on a lot of other trucks. But we kind of do the opposite, the kind of the Occam's razor, or we take a design and we simplify it to the point where you can't simplify it anymore. And then once we've got to that point, then we would kind of release it out to the public. Yeah, what we found is we used to make some complex stuff, and you would get so many people calling and saying, hey, how to use this? Hey, I broke this. Hey, this doesn't make sense. Hey, your stuff sucks. So when we kept bringing it back down and simplifying and making it as intuitive as possible, that's when the products all started to get a lot more traction, because they're just received much better, and it doesn't require the hand holding. You know, obviously that's how I would want it too. When I get a product. So that's what we aim for with everything we make.
So can we go from the absurdly complicated to the seemingly simple but super innovative? And I want to talk about the rapid rope for a minute. And so you guys have this synthetic rope, which obviously synthetics have really taken off in off-roading in the last 10, 15 years. A lot of it has to do with being lightweight and durable, and they float, and they're a lot safer in case a rope were to break. But they also have some drawbacks, and sometimes that's the interface to a shackle system. They're not necessarily closed loop, depending on how you have it rigged, things like that. You guys came up with this rapid rope, which is a synthetic rope that basically has the soft shackle built into each end of it, so you could thread the rope through a D-ring or through a shackle mount on the vehicle or around tubing on a chassis, and basically tie it in on itself to create the closed loop, and then you don't need anything else if you have the rapid rope because of the built-in soft shackles on each end. Dude, how cool is that?
Exactly. No extra parts to lose. And we knew nothing. I knew nothing about knots. I am not a boat guy. And it was like 8 months of sitting at a desk and going through every website I could find of all the different fancy sailor knots and all the different things. And then we actually took a winch and bolted it to the concrete in the parking lot of our shop and took all of these pulleys and made like doublers 5 times so we could get the torque of the winch from like 10,000 to like 20,000 pounds. And we just started breaking ropes and breaking knots for, God, more than I can even remember, test after test after test. And then just through trial and error and reading a ridiculous amount about knots, we figured out a combination that worked. We were able to put the soft shackles on both ends and make something that, you know, we hope is a little more useful, you know, when you get stuck or you have an issue off road.
It's awesome because it allows you to carry less equipment, obviously lighter weight, and then the eyelets that you essentially create at the end of each rope are 10 inches. So they're nice and big, lots of tail to work with. So if you wrap it around, let's say a tube bumper, or you put it through a D-ring mount or something like that, you've got plenty of tail to wrap through and make a solid closed loop recovery system out of it, which is rad.
How did you decide on the length, the overall length of the rope?
The overall length was just kind of polling a number of racers, a number of off-road guys, and then kind of like the Best in the Desert, one of the race series in the U.S., talking to their rescue guys and kind of trying to get a cross-section of who does what. And we heard a lot of 20s, we heard a lot of 30s. Well, because these connect to themselves, if you need that shorter distance, you kind of just run it through the front car back to the rear car, and you can get that 15-ish feet. Or the full length of 30 if you have like a long distance where the car that's pulling needs to be on hard ground, a distance away or over the top of a ridge. That extra distance gives you that room for that.
Now, are these dynamic or static ropes?
This version is static.
Okay.
And that was kind of all part of the evolution. We wanted to get something out there, kind of understand what people want, and then, make tweaks and stuff as we go.
Yeah, you guys are at a 3/8 inch diameter, 10-inch eyelet on each side, 30 feet of length, and your max brake strength is 17,600 pounds. So
exactly.
Just about anything Super Duty or small or fully loaded, you're going to be fine with this single rope.
The really cool part about it, and this is what it took so long to make the knots, is the tail, the end that actually does the wrapping, is the rope itself. It's not the knots. You can pass it through smaller passages or openings or D-rings and come back to the knot, because it would have been much easier if we'd flipped it the other way and put the knot on the long end. So that's kind of one of the little small things that may not be super obvious at first, that spent or took a lot of time to figure out so that we can make it more versatile without adding more to it.
Did you figure out a way to patent it?
Yeah, so
why?
Whoa, hold there,
Jay. Why are you on the
right
U.S.
now.
patent site on your laptop right now?
Listen.
Why are you drawing a rope with shackles on either end?
I happen to know you cannot patent something that quickly. It's a pain in the ass.
You're
and it
certainly
takes a long
trying over
time.
there, my friend.
I'm trying.
Bryan, do not give this man anything.
Yeah.
Dude, patents are a pain in the ass, and they take weeks to make.
Oh my gosh.
I give him 30 seconds after he hangs up to ask you for some stuff. Don't trust him.
Whatever.
Yeah, nice.
You're fascinated with like the off-road stuff, and I'm fascinated with the tools. So I'm going to take it back to their sister site, to agatools.com. The brake disc removal tool, again, fascinating, because one of the trucks at the shop, we had to replace the disc brakes, right? We wanted to upgrade the rotors. This is specifically trying to get the rotors off. And they're always just like, they're just rusted on, right? Yeah. You're thinking, maybe I don't want to beat up all the bearings and everything else as I'm knocking a hammer against the rotor trying to get the rotor off. And you have a tool that pries the rotor off by using the lug nuts, and it prevents it from falling on your toes when you do get the rotor off.
Yeah, that's exactly it. You have studs that are threaded. Those go into the female threads on the wheel, and then the tool locates on that. So now you're attached to the hub. You're passing through that floating rotor, or that rotor that's sitting on the face of the hub. The tool pulls against itself. It frees the rotor from the face of the bearing, or the face of the hub. And like you said, not only does it break it free, but it also holds it there so it doesn't drop on your feet or on your nice epoxy floor.
Of all the tools that you guys have invented, or the inventions on either site, AGM or AGA, are they after you, by the way? Is that the patent police?
Oh, can you hear that in the background?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally. It sounds
I said, beautiful Escondido.
Yeah.
By the way,
sorry if that's too loud.
For those of you that don't know, Escondido is on like the edge of like off-road paradise. It's where all the off-roaders, like, it's as close as you can get to like the desert without living in the desert.
Well, it's basically like North San Diego County, but it's sort of nestled. It's not too far from the coast, and it's not too far from the deserty mountains. It's sort of in this little valley. I mean, you can certainly do worse than Escondido, for sure.
Oh, for sure. Oh, there's some really nice areas in Escondido.
Oh, I mean, you have, Rancho San Marcos. You've got a bunch of stuff. Poway, which is where our friends over at Bilstein are. So Escondido's fine. There's some stuff
it's
there.
It's good. I make fun of it, but it's good.
So of all the tools and the products, what's your favorite?
I'm partial to the stuff that we haven't made yet, because when it's like whether you're making a book or you're writing a song, or you're working on some kind of big project, or you've just bought a new truck, you get like 3/4 away through the project, it's almost done, and you're kind of already like, okay, what's the next thing? So I love the electric jack. It has a ton of functions, but I tend to gravitate more towards the things that are coming next.
And what might those be?
For us, that's
that becomes
I'm kind of leaving you hanging.
That becomes a problem when you need to market and sell the products that you already offer, because you're like, I'm already over it.
Exactly.
I'm on to the next thing, and you got the marketing PR guys like, I need you to sell what we have now.
The electric jack is amazing. I love that for all the reasons you just said. You can use a regular drill battery with the flip of a switch. There's like 14 inches of internal travel. There's also an adjustable collar on the outside that gives you 17 inches of height adjustment. So you can go right to the bottom of the the car, the UTV, or the truck before you use any of the travel. So it gives you kind of double what you would normally get with a regular jack. And one of the other really cool things that we do is these auxiliary tanks for UTVs, because they're getting so much horsepower now and they're going so fast, big tires, big suspension, but they're not addressing the fuel mileage, or I should say the range. So we're making these tanks that bolt into the car so you can just install without having to cut the chassis, and they nearly double the range of the cars. And the really cool part about those is the way they're wired and set up, you can flip a switch while you're driving and fill up your stock tank. So it's no stopping at the gas station or having to stop and all your buddies have to wait for you while you grab 5 gallons out of a can and fill the car up and spill half on the ground and all that kind of stuff.
That's awesome.
And it looks like you've got them for Razors, Can-Am X3s. You're going to be needing one for Maverick, because I think the Maverick seems to be blowing it up based on what I saw out of Johnson Valley at King of the Hammers.
Yeah, that car's amazing. We have one coming in this week. We already got the CAD files, or I should say the scans. So we figured out kind of what we want to do. So now we'll get a physical car or an actual car in the shop. We'll do the basic layout to understand that the plumbing and everything that we think will work in the CAD does work in the real car. And then we do kind of foam prototypes to just get the spacing right. And then once that's done, we'll go back in, we'll do all the designs for the molds. We have a mold shop make those here locally, and then they get roto-molded not too far away from here either.
Well, we appreciate you coming on and talking about all the different products. This is one of those kind of fun websites where you may go looking for one thing. Maybe you saw the jack or the rapid rope, 2 completely freaking different products, by the way. And then you just get sucked into, what are those? What do they make it? Like for me, the skid plate little...
the bolt-on skid plates? No, sorry.
No, the hardware.
I like the bolt-on jack points, because so many cars don't have good jack points. And so they offer bolt-on jack points.
Well, I like the skid plate washer. So basically what it does is it keeps the head of the bolt that's holding your skid plate on. And there's like a disc around it, and it's recessed within this sacrificial disc so that you don't have to worry about gumming up
the bolt off.
Yeah, exactly, which happens all the time. So, I mean, you go to agm-products.com and you just start scrolling and you're like, these are all these completely different things that are totally useful, and you can get lost on the website for a little while. So it's pretty fun to see all the stuff that you guys... I should say it's pretty fun to see all the problems you guys have solved.
Exactly. Yeah, thank you guys very much for having me on.
I feel like I screwed up, Holman, and I should have called Bryan ahead of time and asked him for like a discount code for our listeners.
Oh, you could ask him right now?
No, I'm not going to put him on the spot. Well, I'm kind of am by just bringing it up. But like,
he's still on the phone, right? You can still hear us.
Do you think...
I'm still here.
Is that something? I mean, can we? Could we put some on our website to do a little something for our listeners?
Yeah, that's definitely something we could do.
Oh, we'd love to take you up on that.
Is it possible to use like Truck Show at checkout for X% off?
Let's do it. Yeah, that'll be the coupon code or the discount code.
Nice.
Awesome.
Truck Show at agm-products.com for your discount on the best tools made right here in Southern California.
Now, it may not get your jack down to $50, but you're gonna be happy that we hooked you up.
You don't want a jack supporting a 6,000-pound truck that you spend $50 on.
Did I tell you I took my Wrangler finally to the Catskills at full overland weight?
And can I guess?
Yeah.
5,900? 5,900?
No.
Oh, no.
7,000 pounds.
Oh, wow, that weighs way more than my TRX.
Dude, that's my Wrangler 392 with everything on it for a week in the desert.
Oh, my Lord.
Dude, 7,000 pounds.
That's without you in it.
Dude, no, that was with me in it.
Was it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I thought for sure I would be around like 6,250 maybe. 63 on a bad day. Yeah, dude. Every bit of 7K and that's with my auxiliary fuel tank, all the water on board, all that stuff too. But holy crap! So
Bryan, Holman drives a 392, a Jeep 392.
My point is, don't trust a crappy jack to take care of that, and make sure you go and get a jack rod if you've got one of those wink wink other racing jacks, because, dude, 7,000 pounds is no joke to be lifting, whether you're on dirt or your driveway or inside your garage. Like, do it safe, guys. Go to agm-products.com and get the right stuff. Pay once, then you don't never have to worry about it. Don't risk your life with some of the junk that's out there.
Awesome.
I said it better myself.
Perfect. Bryan, thank you so much for carving out some time for us. We appreciate it, and congratulations on all the success and following what looks like so much fun, solving problems.
Yes, sir. It is.
Awesome.
Thank you very much for having me.
You got it.
All right, brother.
Bryan.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Okay. See ya.
Talk soon.
Bye. All right, Lightning, I've got a little truck review for you.
What?
Truck review. Yeah. Rolling coal and dragging truck nuts.
Is this the Nissan Hardbody?
Yes, as you know, I had the Nissan Hardbody for a little bit, so I decided to take it out to the desert and put it through its paces. And then while I was in the truck, I had some thoughts that formed, and I recorded them for you.
Is this the trip that Lightning went with you on?
This was while you were working, because this trip was during Lightning's business hours.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
All right, Lightning. So here I am off-road somewhere in the Mojave Desert, and I'm in the Hardbody, and I've put maybe 600-700 miles on this thing when it's all said and done from this test. And right now I'm driving off-road. So a couple things about the Hardbody. It actually, the package is more expensive than a Pro 4X. The Pro 4X starts at $40,040, whereas the Hardbody starts at I think it's $44,000. So that's one of those things that's kind of curious to me because I basically would love to have, so $44,680 is the Frontier. Basically love the off-road package. So you lose the Bilsteins and you lose the big screen, the 9-inch, and you lose a rear locker. That being said, you can still get the Fender audio system even with the smaller screen, and I haven't missed the big screen. Small screen's fine. The clarity, all that kind of stuff is fine. The bigger screen's a little bit better. This one has the Fender audio system, so I'm not missing anything there. And I'd love to have a rear locker, but I could always add something later. So it just comes down to, if you like the retro look, you also get rock rails on the Hardbody. And I wish you would put those rock rails on the Pro 4X, because I would definitely pay more for those. And the shocks, even though they're not the Bilstein monotubes, are pretty decent. Like, the tuning is really good, and we're just bouncing off road here. Everything else about the Hardbody is pretty familiar. Obviously, it's got the black vinyl on the tailgate. It's got the blacked out front bumper. You also lose the LED lights of the Premium because it's built off of a SV. So you don't have those nice LED headlights.
So sometimes when you get really used to the LED headlights, like a great example would be the Ford Super Duties. We have one at work where we have the LEDs. Are they HIDs? They got to be LEDs, right? No one uses HIDs anymore.
LED.
So they're beautiful, bright white, just light up the whole road. And then we swap over to our other F-250.
Has the halogens.
Halogens. I'm telling you, it's like a miner's hat. It's
yellow, or
like
it's really dim.
Carbide miner's hat from 1890. It's just like so dim. Yeah. It's insane.
I definitely missed that bright light of the Pro 4X with the LED lights on it, but I didn't feel like they were a huge step back. I mean, they put out plenty of light. Truck doesn't look that much different for it. It definitely goes in line with that retro look. But yeah, like I was saying here, there's a few trade-offs, right? Like, you have to really like that retro package, and you still get a great truck. But if you're like the more of a hardcore off-road trail guy, I think you're going to be better served by a Pro 4X.
And of course, you get the really super rad wheels, but you can always get those wheels as an accessory as well. So it just kind of depends what you want. I think the Pro 4X is still the better choice for me. But if you didn't need all the off-road capability, this thing rides great, and it's super fine. Just got on the highway. Here we go. Super responsive with the 9-speed. It's everything that we already knew about. Just love this truck. I forgot how good even the lower level trim. The seats are cloth in this. Super supportive, super comfortable. Zero issues with that. The orange or lava accents in the Pro 4X are silver in here, so that might appeal to some people. But overall, man, just the thing is super quiet, and heading out on this trip, I got 23 miles per gallon on the highway.
I can't recall what tires it came with. Were they offered like knobby tires?
No, these are the Hankooks, and I would like a more aggressive tire on this package, because those monoblock tri-spoke wheels really, I think they demand having a knobby tire. They look weird with kind of a more street-oriented, but again, 23 miles per gallon. on that thing.
Yeah.
That's
It's hard to
pretty
beat.
darn. That's hard to
Yeah,
beat.
yeah.
It also has that. Well, you're talking about the headache rack, right, of the TRX. This has that sport bar that says Frontier on it.
Right.
On the
was it tubular? Kind of like a throwback to the 80s, right?
Yeah, a little bit like that. And then, like I said, the blacked out bumpers. But the rock rails are legit. Like, put them on the Pro 4X Nissan. I'd love to see them on there.
But I do like the skid plates and all the other stuff. Haven't missed the rear locker yet. So yeah, if you like 80s styling and you want that.
I'll say really quick about the rear locker. The Nissan Frontier has pretty darn good brake traction control. So even without a rear locker, if you get into loose or slippery stuff and you stay in it, it'll use the traction control to move you through, and it's pretty effective. So I did probably that day maybe 30 miles through the desert, and I didn't need the locker one. So just throwing that out there.
Retro, I think you can get a pretty nice hard body. Otherwise, Pro 4X still a great truck. But either way you go, 310 horsepower, super efficient, 9-speed automatic transmission's great. This one has adaptive cruise control. So really not missing out anything else than what I already mentioned about the Pro 4X, other than the ability, I think, to get leather maybe. All right, well, that's my quick review of the Nissan Hardbody while I'm out here in the desert and about to head home on the freeway. Great truck.
So there it is.
There it is.
Holman's
Truck review. Yeah. Rolling coal and dragging truck nuts.
Yeah, it's fun because Nissan did a bunch of different things. So you can now get an SL version of the Frontier. So it's the higher trim level. So it's got the leather and the sunroof.
What does SL stand for, do you suppose?
That's the luxury version. So SV is the mid-grade, S is the bottom grade. So it's S, SV, SL, Pro 4X.
Okay.
So now if you don't need all the Pro 4X stuff, but you want the nicer stereo and you want leather seats, you can now do it in a non-off-road package. So a lot of choice there. But every time I get into it, even the base models, I'm like, this is a really good truck. So I don't know. Nissan supports the show. Go support Nissan. It's good stuff.
Wish they had a
EV?
crazy. No. That crazy deal that they had that you and I spotted.
Oh, dude, that lasts for 5 minutes.
It's like for 5 minutes because we're like. I hope my kid's not listening because we're really wanting to get him a Frontier for graduation. A lease deal.
Yeah,
I'm not going to go. I can't afford like the whole truck, so but we can buy a portion of the truck with lease.
Pretty good first truck, man.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Now you got hooked up with the Aria. You got a friends and family deal?
I might be able to help you out. I also know a dealer, so
Really?
just saying.
I might need that.
All right.
I got to look into it. See
Talk
how much,
off the air. How about that?
Yeah, well, it maybe so because I got to make sure that we can get into. I got a lot of money laying out, just like yourself. But that'd be fun to bring a Frontier into the family.
Well, then if you did that, I'm sure Nick and Downey would take care of you, and we do a little Lightning Buys a Truck episode.
Ah, yeah, another one of those. Yeah. Okay. All
right.
What you got over there?
I think it's time to read some emails.
You email? Yeah. I email? Do it. We email? That's right. Everybody email. Type it up. You email? Proofread. I email? Send it. We email? Click it. Everybody email.
Well, I can tell you the font size has not increased, even though you started printing our email out with the printer in your office and not the one in the pod shed.
No, that's not what does it. It's the problem is when I print out Google Mails, it doesn't resize the image.
Yeah.
So I have to resize the email so the images you guys send aren't like 12 pages to make them. But then when I do that, I forget to go to the next email and resize it back to 100, and then Lightning has to use a magnifying glass.
Freaking so tiny, it's ridiculous. I guess I'll start here. Diesel rant is the subject line from Trevor. All right, so he says, guys, this really pisses me off. I see this type of mislabeling and confusing labels at nearly every station I go to these days, talking about a fuel station. With how sensitive these stupid trucks are to fuel quality, you'd really like to know what you're actually putting in it. Can we get SEMA to lobby for better labeling standards or something? And he's got a photograph of a fuel pump, but you've shrunken the photograph so small I can't see it.
It's a Chevron pump, and it says diesel number 2, normal, like with the price, but $5.19 a gallon. And it says diesel. But next to where you grab the handle, there's 2 stickers. One says biomass-based diesel blend, contains biomass-based diesel or biodiesel in quantities between 5 and 20%. And then below that is another sticker that says 95% biomass-based diesel blend. So which is it, guys?
Which is it?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, that does suck. But at least the handle is not
green.
I was going to say it's not black.
Yeah.
But yes, it's green. Because, man, have you... Now, hold on a second. I got to ask you
Are
this.
we going back to this?
No. This is not about, well, this is fuel station related, gas station related. These are pranks, right? And I'm not exactly sure. There's been 2 of these videos on Instagram that have gone viral. The 2 women that walk up to, they're both Cybertrucks, and the women are walking around the Cybertruck with a handle in their hand trying to figure out where to put fuel in.
Oh, that's got to be a prank because somebody did that. The original one was like a Model 3 or an S where that happened. So somebody's just repurposing that joke content.
But what about the one where...
The original one, I think, was real.
What about the one where the woman walks around and she pours fuel all over the car like it's water? Like she's trying to clean it. Have you seen that one?
No.
You haven't seen that?
That sounds stupid.
No, she's literally...
No, some people are doing that for clicks. Don't fall for it.
Okay, yeah.
You're better than that, or you should be anyway. Hey, got this one from Jason Gaynor says...
You know you're talking to me, right?
I do. T-shirt, count me in for 2 in XL. And Lightning, you could lease a cheap EV like Holman and park it behind your TRX to keep thieves from stealing it.
Just as a roadblock?
That's funny.
They might even be cheaper than Ballards.
It would be cheaper than Ballards. Just forget to charge it, and they can't steal it either. Well, unless they have a rollback and squirt some Dawn on the bed to get the EV to slide. Just a thought. The EV lease is probably cheaper than your accessories and your deductible. Well,
yeah, it's possible.
I'm thinking you might have a point there.
Interesting, huh?
You know, Leafs are going for super cheap right now.
Are they really?
Oh, dude, there's a Leaf deal.
I can't do. Listen, you know I love Nissan, and they're a partner of the show. That Leaf is not my style.
Listen, this is an appliance car. Dude,
But
what if I told?
know. I'm not going to drive around in a fridge.
What if I told you, Downey Nissan on their website, downeynissan.com, 2024 Nissan Electric Leaf S, $99 a month with $999 due at signing.
What?
On their website right now. Aria, just like I got, $199 a month, 0 due at signing. 2024 Aria.
That's nuts.
That's nuts, right?
Yeah. How? Why?
Well, I think you need to have the Nissan loyalty and there's some other stuff in there. But even with taxes and stuff, you're probably still in the 150 range on the Leaf and probably 250 range on the Aria. Dude, that's a smoking deal.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's less expensive than a motorcycle.
Dude, there's a lot of... I know.
Yeah.
And I get charging for a year. I'm just saying, dude, $99 a month? Why not?
Thieves will be shot, subject line from Austin Brown.
Can I add to that?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care what it looks like for $99 a month.
I mean, I still do a little bit. I've got some pride.
No,
you know? Yeah, I do. Anyway.
You have one a TRX. Who cares?
It doesn't... But people don't know that I have a TRX when I'm driving that box around, you know?
Who cares? That's why you tint the windows. Go see Bryan. Nobody will know it's you.
Yeah, that's true. Thieves will be shot. Subject line from Austin Brown. Lightning and Holman. No, look how he spells lightning. Lighting.
Oh, well.
Dude, there's 2 N's. I vote for thieves will be shot. I think he's talking about the stickers that I ran past you guys. Which one should I put? I think the one I'm going with is going to be, I'm not actually going to use stickers. I'm just going to laminate a piece of paper. And it's just going to say something about break glass to sound alarm or something like that.
That's still stupid.
It is stupid, but
just put your headache rack on and be done with it.
I can't wait to have you over to my house and so you can see all the booby traps they set in my front yard.
Oh, that's funny
awesome,
because this one says anti-theft protection for TRX.
Well, I'm not done with this.
Oh.
No, Austin's not done. A few years ago, I had my truck broken into. They broke the passenger front window and crawled in. To make things worse, it was February in Minnesota. They stole around $100 of ice fishing stuff, but the idiots left my Carhartt bibs and my Oakley sunglasses, which is about $300. Now when I park the truck someplace, I make sure there's nothing in sight to tempt anyone. I'll take the thieves will be shot sticker if you're going to send them out. He wants one, and he gave me his address. Love the show. Keep on mounting those parameters. I don't think I'm going to send those stickers out. I'm going to save them. But so, Holman, I put in 2 IR sensors.
Okay.
One on either side of my driveway because I have a 3-car wide driveway.
And a 1-car wide garage.
That's true. That's why I can't park the TRX inside. And every time you pass into my driveway, I have a sensor on the inside with a speaker in my bedroom that says, in this total super
intruder alert.
Nope, super thick Chinese accent, driveway.
Okay.
And lets me know someone's out there. And I also bought a motion detector with 2 speakers in it, and it sits under the eave, and it's recordable. So I recorded my voice.
Hey, this is Lightning. Please don't steal my truck.
It's kind of like that.
That's funny.
It's like, Vehicles have alarms. Step away. That's super dumb. But I know it's dumb, but I can say anything. I haven't mounted it yet. And it's got a little remote control that I'm sure I'm going to break because it's super cheesy. I bought it on Amazon, but it's going to bark at him, and it's a human voice.
Amazon.
Yeah, the wonders of Amazon. Wow. So, dude, I'm going. And my neighbor came over to help me mount the 2 IR sensors, and he's like, "This is all to protect your truck." I'm like, "I've lost my mind, dude. I've lost my mind." He felt bad because he was there. He came out when the glass was broken and stuff. And
did he help you clean it up?
He did.
Oh, as I say, then he does feel bad. All right, again, Michael St. Jean has this one, anti-theft protection for the TRX. Hey, Lighting, just wanted to pass along a few ideas for theft deterrent stickers and other devices. Notice you are being watched. This area under 24-hour surveillance.
Yeah, I don't think they care about that stuff.
We don't dial 911, including an outline of one of Holman's favorite handguns. Or notice this area protected by a guard dog. Also install an outdoor speaker with motion sensor connected to an audio recording of a fierce guard dog.
Dude, you should hear. I'm going to bring it in. You'll trip out on the sound effects. It has squealing pigs. It has dog barks.
Dude, do squealing pigs. That's way better than anything else.
It's loud and super freaky weird, but it's going to be awesome at Halloween.
No, okay, all right. Put the candy just on this side of your driveway.
Yes.
Place a mannequin.
Scare the crap out of the little kids.
Place a mannequin in the driver's seat. One of your blow-up dolls would work great.
That actually is a good idea. I need a friend.
Okay. Failing that, you could put up a guard shack like that used in the World War II German stalls.
I'm going to build a guard shack and pay a guard to hang out.
Anyway, it says, by the way, I like the no response to have you heard of the guy saying no, no, no while laughing. Oh, God, that's Lighting's favorite. Even though it drives Holman crazy. The South Park's no's are still my favorite. He's talking about on the have you heards. Great show as always, 5 stars, and mount those parameters. Don't forget the accoutrements, and remember that everything matters. Man, he just hit the whole smorgasbord of drops right there.
No, 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 no.
Next.
Nope. I don't think we've ever gotten
no, we haven't. Yeah. There's a reason for that. All right, the South Park.
No, he's not done yet.
I'm done.
No.
I will end this show right now.
He's almost done. I'm trying to make you laugh.
Dude, people are like bailing out right now.
How does that not make you laugh?
It's not. Are we done yet?
That makes me laugh so much.
Okay.
How do you not
South
love
Park
that?
knows.
You're dead inside.
I am dead
You're
inside.
all shriveled up and dead 100%.
Inside. My heart is black and powdery.
South Park, no. Hold on a second.
No! God, no!
5-star review! 5-star!
Monitor key engine parameters.
The accoutrement that you will need. Accoutrement!
For those seeking a monitor, only the brand new GTX Watchdog is now available for Dodge Cummins and has a full 5-inch color display with a captive touch. Its quick to start and magnetic mount allows you effortlessly mount monitor key engine parameters.
He got the full Monty.
Thanks for watching, and remember, everything matters.
5 stars and Frontier Spotting from Benjamin Hall. Hey, fellas, I absolutely love the podcast. Gents, I've listened to almost every episode. I wonder which ones he skipped. I'd be fascinated to know.
He's just not all the way to the end, that's all.
Got it. Oh, okay. I've been a truck guy since I was 16, currently in a 23 Colorado ZR2. Good call. Also attached a picture of my 1-ton swapped 90 Blazer for street cred. Snapped a pic of a Frontier for your Frontier Spotting bit. Finnegan, yeah, buddy, from Ben Hall in Conroe, Texas.
Yeah, buddy.
All right, I will add that to the stack over here to send a sticker to Holman.
What? Yes.
Do you know what Gail Banks just bought?
Nope.
Interesting.
I mean, I could text him.
Interesting.
A car?
A truck.
Huh. For himself?
Yes.
Is it old or new?
New.
Huh. Let me think about this for a minute. Oh, GMC Canyon AT4X.
No, but close.
Chevy Colorado AEV Bison ZR2.
Closer.
ZR2 non-Bison.
Close-ish.
1500 ZR2. Silverado.
Now you're getting cold.
He didn't buy a Tacoma. I know that for sure.
Nope.
AT4X non-AV. Or no, AT4X AV edition.
No.
He didn't buy a Raptor. Ranger Raptor.
It's a Colorado.
You just said Trail Boss?
Trail Boss.
Oh, okay. All right.
Are you surprised?
No, because I'm surprised they got the Chevy. Although I know he knows somebody at the Chevy dealership because he really liked the styling of the GMC better.
Tim brought over like a dozen of them.
And the fact that the GMCs all have the wide body kit on them, I know he liked that. He just didn't like the fender lights, although I sent him a picture of my friend Nick's that had them all blacked out, which looked great. And the Trail Boss is like, I would have thought he would have gone a little higher up in trim, but I could also see him using it as his appliance.
He is. It's going to be a Yosemite runner because he's got that property up there. And he decided that he wanted to get one on a Monday, and he had one by a Wednesday. It was like, I'm going to buy one of these.
Okay.
And he did. And it's a beautiful, like a ruby red.
Oh, yeah. That's the tint coat metallic.
Yeah. It's a really nice color, and it's well appointed. It does have the cloth seats, but he doesn't seem to care, you know?
If it's his runner, he doesn't care.
Yeah. But it looks good, man. It's all the black accessories. Yeah. So it's all the ruby red and black. It looks good.
Okay. Banks iDash question from Blake Prickett. He says, hey, Lightning Holman, I had a question about the Banks iDash. I've noticed that when looking at it, that it goes with just about any vehicle. So if I get one for one vehicle, do you have to reprogram it for another vehicle? You know, if I get another one. Also, is it better to get the data log feature, even if you don't currently have plans to tune a vehicle, but might down the road? Thanks. 5 stars, and yeah, buddy.
5-star review! 5 stars!
Hashtag, yeah, buddy!
The simple answer to your question about the iDash is it doesn't really care what it's in. So whether it's a Honda Civic or a Ford, diesel pickup, plug it right in and just pull it out of one, put it in the other. Now, I will say that if you go into the menu and you change the vehicle selection and you choose like Ford specific or Duramax specific, whatever, there will be some added parameters that you can see that if you just left it in standard version. But I'll talk you through that later. Just email me, lightning@truckshowpodcast.com, and I'll talk you through that, or I'll send you some videos. But long story short, it doesn't care what it's in. It will show you rich data in almost anything. Now, as far as data logging, I find data logging super helpful for diagnostics. Whether you're upgrading the truck and you're putting a new intercooler in or a new turbo or whatever it is, manifolds, you can see performance data before and after. Or diagnostics in the case of like there's a problem and you take it to the dealership and the guy's like, I can't get it to replicate the problem. You can record the problem, then email him the data and say, right here, when I'm at 2,800 RPM going up a hill, it does this thing. And you can show him in the data. That's really, really handy. Or you can even play it back right on the gauge in front of your service tech. So that feature can be really, really handy. If you don't see yourself using it, then just get the Super Gauge, which is exactly the same, minus data logging.
And there you have it.
TRX theft, subject line from Mike Rich. The best thing for Lightning would be a driveway alert system that will sound a doorbell in his house if someone crosses the beam.
Oh, interesting. Sounds like you may have thought of that one.
Most people use it for long driveways so they know when someone drives in. If he heard the alarm, he would be able to contact authorities or scare them off or something. Cheap, easy, and effective solution for him. And yes, Mike, I have already installed one and I will record it and play it for you. I will say this.
You do have to play it for us? Like once you finish the recording, walk through the beam just with your phone out or whatever, because I want to hear how dumb it sounds.
I will, and right
It'd be funny if you had like Kevin and Bean cameo on it. And they're like, hey guys, this is Kevin and Bean. Don't steal Lightning's truck or something.
Well, that's a different box,
Would be funny.
So I have 2 units, right? The one that he's talking about that I installed, that one's pre-recorded. I can't record it. So it's like, it's the
That's the one in the bedroom. I'm talking about the outside one.
Right. So the outside one, yeah, I could have you do it, or it could be anyone, right?
Halt! Stealing this truck would be bad for your karma.
No, I'm not going to stop anyone.
Oh,
no, these kind of thieves, like, they flip the camera off. You know what I mean? Like, they don't care.
Stop! This truck is haunted.
No. Again, they're not going to care.
They might.
I doubt it.
All right.
But Holman, the funny thing about the one that sounds off in the bedroom,
yeah,
Brandy already hates it.
Oh, of course she does.
I mean, literally, it was only on for 2 hours, and every time I was walking back and forth testing it, she's like, I can't listen to her voice anymore.
No, too bad that
Driveway.
No.
Driveway.
Hold on. Too bad that one's not recordable. You could be like, hey, babe, is tonight the night? And anytime a random squirrel or person crosses the beam, you guys are laying there in bed, and then maybe you get lucky.
I don't think that would work.
You know?
I lifted it high enough so like cats and dogs won't set it off, you know?
Uh-huh.
But yeah, no, it's just a bunch of annoying doorbells and stuff and all that.
Brandy, is tonight the night? Oh, dude, that would be funny. So I'll tell you this. My mom, when I was younger, got a Mac 2SI, and the 2SI Mac was one of the Apple computers that came with a microphone, and that was a big deal back then, that you could actually record sound files with it. So I recorded, what did you do that for? And I made it her default sound for when you made a mistake.
No.
And she was doing, I think she was in like either her bachelor's program, so she had gotten it through work as part of her program for schooling. And it took about 2 seconds of her typing something and hearing that. Dude, my ass got called downstairs so fast. Fix it! I don't know what you did. Fix it. Dude, I was in a lot of trouble. But could you imagine instead of the boop, every time you messed up, it goes, what'd you do that for? Boop, what'd you do that for? Oh, dude. So
you are annoying.
Yep. Always, ever since day one.
All right, if you have any other security suggestions, send them to me. lightning@truckshowpodcast.com or Holman@truckshowpodcast.com. We will read them, and they could end up on the air.
The Truck Show, the Truck Show, the Truck Show. Oh, oh.
657-205-6105 is the 5-star hotline, so please leave us a message and tell us what's on your mind, or you can email us, truckshowpodcast@gmail.com, Holman@truckshowpodcast.com, or lightning@truckshowpodcast.com, or for some Banks goodies, you can slide into old Lightning's DMs. That would be at LBC Lightning. For advice on various topics about life, you can hit me up at Sean P. Holman, or follow us at Truck Show Podcast.
You're a life coach all of a sudden?
Well, you know, people ask random questions, and I always deliver. May not be right, but I deliver. I answer everything. Always. I take care of our listeners. You want to go to truckshowpodcast.com for the latest deals or our events calendar. And don't forget to leave us a 5-star hotline.
Oh, wait. By the time...
5-star review.
Yeah. So wait, listen. By the time you're listening
Well, you can also
to
leave
this,
us a 5-star hotline.
I have the... go to our webpage, and I will link to agm-products.com
for your discount code.
For your discount code.
By the way, that page is going to get better. We're working on some stuff, and it'll be easier to navigate. But
that's fine. Just scroll. You got a thumb. You can scroll through it. You'll see.
We'll have some better. It'll look better here.
It doesn't matter. It works. Tap the link. Buy something with the discount. So Truck Show to save at our new buddy Bryan Lyttle's website, agm-products.com.
All right, if you're looking for a Nissan truck support, Nissan, they have been the presenting sponsor of the Truck Show podcast since the beginning. Or, hey, if you are looking for EVs, there's some great Leaf and Aria deals out there. But, in fact, Lightning, as soon as we're done talking, why don't you say we go for a quick spin?
I would love to.
Okay, NissanUSA.com or your local dealer.
And before we do that, I got to pimp some Banks revolver, billet diesel, and def caps. If you have a 5th-gen Ram with a 6.7-liter Cummins diesel, keep your filler necks clean with a beautiful piece of billet jewelry. Head over to bankspower.com and just type in billet diesel or revolver or def caps or whatever suits your fancy. You'll find the caps. They're only $100. Buy yourself a set.
And when you're due for your next oil change, or if you need a lubricant, whether that's gear oil or grease or just about anything you can think of, AMSOIL, a pioneer in synthetic lubricants for more than 50 years, is the company you want to go visit, AMSOIL.com. AMSOIL synthetic lubricants will deliver wear protection, engine cleanliness, and fuel efficiency that conventional oil simply can't match. When it comes to lubrication, AMSOIL's the leader in synthetics.
The Truck Show Podcast is a production of Truck Famous LLC. This podcast was created by Sean Holman and Jay Tillis with production elements by DJ Omar Khan. If you like what you've heard, please open your Apple Podcast or Spotify app and give us a 5-star rating. And if you're a fan, there's no better way to show your support than by patronizing our sponsors. I want to walk outside so you can hear what it sounds like in person. Here we go. About to cross the threshold of my driveway.
Driveway.
One more time.
Driveway.
It's annoying, isn't it?
Driveway.
Did it accidentally.